Hey friends, welcome back. This is Ashley with Uncommon Roots Homestead, and today, finally, we are doing something super exciting. We're planting the garlic, which is a long time coming. You guys know last year we planted the garlic in like September. I said I'm always gonna do this, I'm never gonna plant it later, and then, you know, life, so didn't. But I wanted to talk about how we're planting the garlic and what garlic we're planting. So last year I bought all seed garlic from the seed store. It can be really expensive. I spent like $100 on different types of garlic and did all these varieties, and it grew really well. We had a wonderful garlic season. I ended up with like 10 braids of garlic. It was great. And we saved some of those, and we're actually planting half, or maybe a little bit more than half, or less than half of the garlic that we braided and grew last year. And then for the other half, I was gonna go to the seed store and I was gonna buy garlic, and then I kind of stopped and thought about it for a minute, and I was like, you know what, why not try something different? Why not go to the grocery store, buy some organic garlic, and see what happens? Because it's not realistic for everyone to spend $70 on seed garlic, and honestly I don't think it's worth it. So I wanted to see what happens when you go to the grocery store and you just buy organic garlic. This was 90 cents, so I got 3 heads. Each of these heads has about 10 cloves, so that means that this will be 30 heads of garlic if this grows. So I got 10 of these, and we planted them. Kevin helped because my back hurts a little bit. I threw it out. You know, welcome to your 30s. But we're gonna see what happens when you plant store-bought garlic. And here's the thing, most of the time, anything that's organic that you buy at the grocery store, like potatoes or garlic or ginger, those things can be planted. In fact, the ginger that I grew this year, I grew from organic store-bought ginger. The reason you want organic is that it's most likely not been sprayed with all of the like chemical sprays that they use to keep it from sprouting. And as you can see, my ginger grew wonderfully, and that just came from the grocery store. So you absolutely do not have to buy like official seed whatever, like seed garlic, seed ginger, seed anything, seed potatoes. You don't have to do that. You can get them at the grocery store. So we'll see. I will definitely follow up on this video as everything sprouts and as we start to see it grow and see if there's any difference between the store-bought garlic and the garlic that we grew last year. I'll keep you guys updated. But if you are on the edge and you haven't planted garlic this year and you're thinking like, it feels like a big investment, go ahead and do it. Buy some organic garlic, put it in the ground. The worst that you could lose is a couple bucks, like $1 for 3 heads. That's really not a lot of money. So anyways, Kevin's gonna get those in the ground right now. I'm gonna show you what that looked like. We're just gonna time lapse it so that you don't have to watch the whole back-breaking work, and then I'll show you what it looks like now.
Hello, so I'm gonna be planting our garlic. I know Ashley explained to you that now is the time to plant your garlic. So in East Tennessee, Zone 7A. Last year we planted it a little bit earlier, but it worked out really well. This year we've had a lot going on, so we're planting a little bit later, but I'm gonna be showing you where I'm planting the garlic. If you want a detailed review of like how to plant garlic, this will not be that video, but actually our first ever video for the Uncommon Roots Homestead channel was planting garlic. Ashley walks through how to plant it, when to plant it, all that good stuff, and that's the first ever video we ever produced, so maybe we didn't have all the kinks worked out quite yet, but it'll still tell you everything you need to know. So basically I'm just gonna show you where I'm planting the garlic and how, and give you just kind of a quick run through of me planting that. Okay, so I just finished getting together some new raised rows. I just cleaned out all the squash and melons that were in this section, and really redid everything for these raised rows. So I've got 3 rows here with mulch in between for walkways. The furthest bed, I've already planted onions in there. So these 2 beds are gonna be garlic. We use a lot of garlic. There's a lot of different ways you can preserve it and save it. And we use it in pretty much every meal that we make, save for desserts. So So it's something we like a lot of. So these 2 rows, 1, 2, will be garlic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plant those. Like I said, if you want a detailed review, a detailed overview of how to do that, Ashley did make a video on that. Go back a little over a year ago on our YouTube channel and you'll be able to find it. It's our first video. So I'm gonna plant in these rows. Each one goes down in the soil you just make a thumbprint and then it goes down into the soil, and you cover it up. And then you do about 2 to 3 inches apart for each thing of garlic. We stagger our rows as well so we can fit more in, but I'm gonna go ahead and plant those now.
So here we are. Looks like we got all the way down to that line. So we still have 1 and a third rows left, and we haven't even started with the garlic we grew last year. So that looks great. And then I've got about 100 onions over there. And then our sweet potatoes we still have to pull up. But it's gonna be great. It's definitely starting to feel like fall in the garden. I feel like everything is starting to settle down a little bit. We're clearing out areas. We pulled out my nasturtium here. That nasturtium was like just out of control. And some people love nasturtiums. I'm not a fan. They're beautiful. They're really pretty, but they just take over. They're so invasive. I don't know that I'll grow them again. Honestly, I just don't think it was worth the space in my garden. And the way that it just like overtook. I mean, look at this. It like demolished like this lavender. He's struggling because he was just overtaken with the nasturtium. So I'm hoping that that'll come back and survive. Look at this holy basil. It looks wonderful. I've just been grabbing the seeds and like pulling them off and then dropping them back into the bed, hoping that some of them will overwinter and volunteer back next year, which is how it works. So that's not like a crazy thing to say or to do. Also, look at this asparagus. Do you see how tall this is? It's like taller than me. Woo. It's a great time in the garden. But I don't know, as we get the next kind of phase started and start to think about digging up the dahlia tubers, digging up all the sweet potatoes, pulling up the ginger, I'm just really starting to think about, gosh, look at this tomato. How crazy is this? Okay, so you wonder how a tomato grows if you just let it grow. Look at this. It's set roots down into the ground. See all of these? Like these are individual roots that it's set into the ground. You see that? Isn't that crazy? And that plant goes all the way back into there. Literally, it just vines on the ground. All right, back to what I was saying before I got so rudely distracted, which is just my life. But this like time of transition in the garden just gives me so much hope for next year, which sounds crazy because we're talking about like going into rest, and you know, I'm thinking a lot about like how I'll use this space in the next couple of months, but it also gives me an opportunity to think like, okay, as we round out this season, what do I want to start preparing myself for now going into next season? Like not just fall or winter, but next spring. What do I want to do differently? What do I want to plant in this bed? How do I need to prepare the space? Should I be doing cover crops? Should I just be covering? Like, do I have a weed problem in a certain bed where I need to compensate for that and start, you know, trying to take care of those weeds in the winter? Like there's so many things that are kind of happening and like going through my mind. And it's one of the reasons that I love this season so much. And the other part of that is that it's such a good opportunity to go through and save seeds from the things that I grew this year that I absolutely love. You know, the beans are starting to dry on the trellises. I've got squash that are drying. I've got basil going to seed. This is my favorite time to walk through the garden with like a couple of little Ziploc bags or like cardboard bags or whatever kind of little containers you have, and just pick seeds off of everything. Like a package of holy basil seeds can cost you $4 or $5. This, I mean, this was probably, that's probably 20 seeds right there. And I have hundreds ready to be picked and harvested, and just they slide right off into your hand. These are perfect to put into your pocket. Like I said, I'm kind of sprinkling them back in the ground. But I will come through the garden in the next couple of days and just do that with all of it, like my cinnamon basil. Look at all of those seeds. Why would you ever pay for seeds when it's that easy? This is crazy. So if you haven't done that yet and you had a garden this year, make sure that you're going back through and saving some seeds, especially on these things that are so easy to save seeds from. I'm thinking about my, right here, I have my Malabar spinach. Look at all of these seeds on this Malabar spinach. So these seed pods are so easy. You just cut them off, you let them dry up, and then you just throw that into the ground next year. Easy as that. Now, I probably won't actually save seeds from this Malabar spinach because it's dropping hundreds of seeds into this bed, and I'll probably have Malabar spinach for the rest of my life, which I'm not mad about because look how pretty it is. I actually told Kev that it might even be worth it to throw some Malabar spinach seeds over on the naked trellis, because who knows, maybe it would grow something. Oh, that naked trellis can be naked forever. I'm gonna be here like 3 years showing you guys my naked trellis. I also feel like we're getting to the point in the garden where I don't really know what to show you guys. Like, what do you want to see? Just kind of here. Lots still growing. Nothing really new. Some dying. It is about to pour, so we're gonna go down and maybe take a walk through the house. I also, while I'm over here, want to check. I don't think I've had any germination yet on the spinach that I've sowed. Not yet, I'll show you. Nothing yet, but I do feel like I got it in the ground at the perfect time because we actually had milder weather. Our highs have been in the 70s, our lows have been in like the high 50s, which is a little bit warmer than it's been the last couple weeks. And also we got some rain. Obviously it's a little bit wet out here, so that's good. That's good for seeds and germination. So I'm hoping that my spinach germinates, and then I'm gonna get that frost cloth out here probably next week. We still don't have a frost in the 10-day forecast, so I am holding out. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of peppers in that time. I'm not complaining. Also, how stunning is it out right now? Like with this like light, foggy, misty haze over the farm. I've said this in another video, but when the farm is like this, usually it's first thing in the morning. Today it's the evening, but when there's just this like dense stillness over the land, I just feel so much peace and like calmness in this place. And I can't wait to just like fully embrace that. And I try to when I'm here now. But there's just something so like magical about this. I hope this does it justice for you. The cats would very much like to be out exploring. But not today. There's so many contractors here. They're putting the drywall in. I really wanted to show you guys around inside the house today, but have to wait for tomorrow because I don't want to get in anybody's way. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful that sunset is. Well, I am gonna go try to check on the house. Kevin is tying or locking Daisy up so that we can milk in the morning. It's a good day. And I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in the garden tonight. You always have a space here. Until next time.